In just a matter of weeks, a microscopic virus managed to cripple the world's greatest economy, triggering Congress to spend $2.7 trillion, possibly more, and leading the Fed to authorize an additional $4 trillion to stop the bleeding. It's the type of spending the U.S. hasn't seen since World War II, and that spending occurred over the course of 5 years.
So to the extent that lawmakers have been talking about this being a warlike effort, on the spending and deficit side, it certainly looks that way.
Bacha and other experts don't fault Congress or the Fed for their actions.
If you look at the next 2-3 years, our economy is going to be awfully weak, and you really do need the government spending to keep the economy from weakening even further.
The federal government is now $24 trillion in debt. And this year, the national deficit has already quadrupled to nearly $4 trillion, with another massive relief package expected from Congress.
The deficit for this year at $3.7 trillion will exceed all of the tax revenues the government can hope to collect by roughly $700 billion.
So what impact will this massive new debt have long-term on spending in areas like defense, healthcare, and entitlement programs? Bacha believes cutting defense spending would be the wrong move.
Lawmakers should target the key programs driving the growth in U.S. spending, but that will be also problematic because one of the biggest ones is Medicare and also Medicaid spending. And I think we will see the American people asking for more investments in health coming out of this public health crisis.
In the not-so-distant future, lawmakers will likely feel pressure to raise taxes to offset the spending, which could prolong an economic recession. And if individuals have taken on more personal debt to make it through the crisis, that too will affect the recovery.
Maybe they're behind on their mortgage and student loan payments, and making up for that could mean reduced consumption on the other side.
Look for some people to also lose their vehicles because of higher interest and longer terms on car loans. There's also the likelihood unemployment will be higher, with estimates it will be 10% by the end of 2021.
We're bound to see a whole wave of bankruptcies and financial strain. That'll be the fallout.
And America will likely have to contend with more than its own financial woes. Lockman says we can expect a negative economic spillover from across the globe.
We haven't seen this before, that so many countries have been hit at the same time by a shock as large as this coronavirus.
So instead of more stimulus going forward, some experts say the best focus for lawmakers is the healthcare crisis, so Americans can get back to work and allow the private sector to drive the recovery. Jennifer Wishon, CBN News.